G'day guys and welcome back to another video on the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be ranking every AFL stadium that has hosted an AFL game in 2024. Before we get into the video, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any more of this AFL content. And make sure you turn on the notification bell so you know exactly when these videos come out. Let's just get straight into the video. So there is a total of 17 stadiums that hosted an AFL game in 2024, and the 17th spot on this list is the Adelaide Hills. The Adelaide Hills holds a capacity of 5,000 people, including the standing areas of the stadium. It hosted 2 games in the 2024 AFL season, Eagles vs Sydney Swans and also Gold Coast vs GWS in gather round. And those games, West Coast vs Sydney, the margin was 26, and Gold Coast vs Giants, the margin was 28. Not really too many close games that were hosted at the Adelaide Hills. So that's one of the reasons why Adelaide Hills is also the last on this ranking, and also the transportation to get there is tough as well. Like, you can't take any trains and that. You got to take a bus, or even you need to take a goddamn 45-minute drive in the Uber. Now 16th on this ranking is TIO Stadium. TIO Stadium, which holds a capacity of 12,215, hosted 2 games in the AFL 2024 season, both in round 9 and 10, with Gold Coast vs North in round 9 and Gold Coast vs Geelong in round 10. Both of these games turned out to be absolute destroyings. The first game, Gold Coast vs North won again. Gold Coast won by 68, and in the other game in round 10, Gold Coast won by 64. TIO Stadium was basically Gold Coast Suns' basically new home. But technically it was their first away win, if you count them being called TIO Stadium a second home or not. But yeah, not really too many close games at TIO Stadium. The Darwin fans really showed up to these games though. They really did. We saw Sirioli show up, and that's that's a couple of the reasons why TIO Stadium is at number 16. And also, in my opinion, they just need to get a Northern Territory team already in to be able to see Darwin fans already show up in TIO Stadium for the whole year. 15th on this list is Mars Stadium. Mars Stadium holds a capacity of 11,046 people, and Mars Stadium is basically the secondary home for the Western Bulldogs when they verse teams like Gold Coast and GWS. This year they versed both of those teams at Mars Stadium. In the first game, Western Bulldogs beat Gold Coast 115 to 67. And in the second game, I believe that Western Bulldogs beat GWS 98 to 61. They weren't able to get a sold-out stadium this whole year, but to be fair, Ballarat, kind of tough for some fans to go over to Ballarat and watch these games. And also, both of those fan bases, Gold Coast and GWS, they have small fan bases. Ballarat, every single time I've watched a game at Mars Stadium, at least on TV, it's always been super windy, so it's very hard to score. Obviously, the Western Bulldogs are amazing at it, but yeah, it's really just tough for teams to score. And honestly, I do not really find any of the games at Mars Stadium too entertaining, so that's why it's gone out 15. In 14th spot, I have TIO Traeger Park. TIO Traeger Park holds a capacity of 7,164 people in the whole entire stadium. It hosted 1 game in the AFL 2024 season, which was Melbourne vs Fremantle, and Melbourne got absolutely pumped in that game, 49 to 141. TIO Traeger Park is, a small stadium, so that's one of the reasons why it's this low. And also, the game that was played here just wasn't really too entertaining. We just saw Fremantle absolutely dominate the whole entire game. So the only fans that enjoyed that game, really, in my opinion, was Freo fans. So yeah, that's the reason why I've got TIO Traeger Park at 14. It is a good stadium for a stadium to be in the middle of nowhere. It's just in Alice Springs, which is a tiny town in Northern Territory. In 13th spot, I have Blundstone Arena. Blundstone Arena holds a capacity of 19,500 people. Blundstone hosted lots of games this year, and to be honest, majority of the games weren't really too enjoyable. One notable one that, in my opinion, was enjoyable, well, this is going to be a little bit of West Coast bias here, was round 22, West Coast versus North, where West Coast got the job done by 5 points, I believe. In 12th spot, I have Norwood Oval. Norwood Oval holds a capacity of 9,656 people. It held 2 games over the course of gather round. Brisbane Lions versus North Melbourne, which was a huge destroying game, dominant by the Brisbane Lions. And we had a very good close game between Richmond and St Kilda, where St Kilda got the job done by 7 points. Norwood's a very good oval. I really do rate it a lot. Very good oval for a little tiny game of footy. 10 minutes away from the CBD. It's basically a perfect stadium for gather round. It's easy to get there by transport, and also one of the 2 games is actually, in my opinion, a good game to watch. So that's one of the reasons why it's at 12. In 11th spot, we have Manuka Oval, or Manuka Oval, whatever way you want to call it. Manuka Oval holds a capacity of 15,351 seats. It hosts the stadium hosted 2 games this year. One on the 13th of April and one on Anzac Day. St Kilda versus Brisbane Lions. Oh, never mind. They hosted 3 games in 2024. Also, Giants vs Hawthorn later that year. 2 of the 3 games were very close games. Giants vs Hawthorn and Giants vs St Kilda. Brisbane vs Giants was just a huge flogging game, to be honest. Not really too good of a game between those 2 clubs, but the other 2 games were very good. Manuka Oval, it's great. Honestly, it's a great stadium. To be playing in the Australia's capital is absolutely amazing. So that's good for the GWS Giants. And just down the road is Parliament House, which is just insane to think about. Canberra really do need to get an AFL team in sometime soon, to be honest. Especially with Manuka Oval just being free for the GWS Giants. But to be fair, I think GWS Giants has rightfully made Manuka Oval their home. Now in 10th, we have our first proper AFL stadium, not the side ones or anything. We have NG Stadium, a capacity of 23,500 people. NG, to be honest, I think it's a little bit of a dead crowd, to be honest. If you do get tickets, you can basically just sit anywhere you want. Giants obviously host their home games here, and to be honest, yeah, the Giants crowd, let's just say, I don't think they'll be able to sell out a 23,500 seat stadium. They're not even going to be able to. I don't think they'll be able to sell out a 20,000 thing stadium. I don't think they'll be able to be honest. Giants are a good club. It's just their fan base is quite small. Don't think NG is big enough or small enough for that fan base. In 9th, the exact same reason as before for 10th, we have Heritage Bank Stadium, a capacity of 27,500 people. The games at Heritage Bank were actually very entertaining this year for me. Gold Coast Suns obviously winning majority of their games at home, but it's just a crowd. It's just always kind of dead as well. It doesn't really have the same feeling as like you would have at Norwood Oval. Pause. Did I just compare Heritage Bank to Norwood Oval? Or maybe even at goddamn Gabba, or yeah, just or the SCG. It's just, honestly, it's just sad that Gold Coast can't really rack in too many of those big passionate fans. In 8th, I have UTAS Stadium. I know UTAS should be lower, but I have UTAS Stadium up there just because of the amount of good games that there was this year. There was Hawthorn, Freo, and a couple of other games as well. Hawthorn obviously also home at UTAS Stadium. They played absolutely amazing at UTAS, and obviously they made it to finals as well, which was just absolutely entertaining to just watch Hawthorn play their best brand of footy at UTAS Stadium. UTAS Stadium is in Launceston, so it's good for those fans, those Tassie fans that live up north of Tasmania, so they don't have to take a little bit of a drive down towards Hobart. In 7th, I've got the Gabba. The Gabba holds a capacity of 39,202 people. Obviously, the home to the Brisbane Lions, and the Brisbane Brisbane Lions were indeed the premiers of 2024, so we had to put this up in the top 10, of course, and it basically automatically was in the top 10. The Gabba, known for their fans always singing Country Roads when Charlie Cameron kicks a snag. Their fans at the Gabba as well, they're very, very passionate, and I really like their fan base as well, the Brisbane Lions, and their fan base definitely fits in towards the Gabba. Pretty sure they're thinking of moving the Brisbane Lions club to somewhere else to get a little bit of a bigger upgrade from the Gabba. Pretty sure they might move into a stadium after 2032 Olympics. But yeah, Brisbane Lions, they have made the Gabba their home, and honestly can't wait to hear Country Roads again next year. In 6th, I've got the SCG, a capacity of 46,817 people. Sydney fans, I mean, Sydney, to be honest, this is New South Wales territory. New South Wales don't really get around the AFL, but the Sydney Swans fans really do. Very close games that have happened at the SCG. Round 22 could be named as well in that one, and also the qualifying finals, Sydney versus GWS. That was a hell of a match. Joel Amartey kicking that winner, of course, and obviously the GWS Giants fumbling the bag. Now, 46,817 people, I think that's a perfect amount for Sydney fans to fill out the SCG. That's a type of capacity that could easily be sold out, and that'd be good for the Sydney Swans case. So that's the reason why I got the Sydney Swans at 6th. At 5, I have the GMHBA Stadium, a capacity of 40,000 people ever since the redevelopment, adding in Joel Selwood stand. Geelong are just super dominant at this game, and at this stadium, and I really do like how dominant they are, and that's why they're up the top. GMHBA just has one of those very, very cool little designs areas as well. Their roof is very, very sick. They got the little daggers in the roof, which is absolutely amazing. And the Cats fans that just show up at GMHBA is just absolutely amazing to see. They really should start playing finals games at GMHBA, because they could easily get them sold out crowds, and that is what finals really needs. And also it gives Geelong Cats a little bit of advantage, because at the MCG they're not really used to playing there, used to playing at GMHBA. Moving to the top 4, in 4th we have Marvel Stadium, a capacity of 53,343 people. Obviously we saw lots of good games here at Marvel Stadium, especially the one in round 21, Essendon vs Gold Coast. Mac Andrew goal after the siren, and there's also lots of other amazing events that happened here. Even if we're going off AFL topic, Travis Scott and Coldplay played here 2 weekends in a row, and those concerts were absolutely amazing, But back onto the AFL side of things, Marvel Stadium's a great place to hold AFL games. Just having the roof closed just adds a different type of feeling towards the stadium, and also the gameplay itself. Obviously, the Marvel Stadium's home to multiple teams, which is kind of a little bit of a struggle, but they do get to sort it around, which I do like about Marvel, and to be honest, I can't wait to go to Marvel sometime in the future. In 3rd, I have the Adelaide Oval, the capacity of 53,500 people, home to Port Adelaide and the Adelaide Crows, also home to the AFL's gather round inaugural and also gather rounds until 2026. All the games I've watched at Adelaide Oval have either been very, very good flogging games where one team dominates in a very, very good way, or they've been super close games, which I do really like to see. Also, at the start of Port Adelaide games, the Never Tear Us Apart ringing around the stadium just really hits different to your vibes. Now, second on this list is Optus Stadium with a capacity of 60,156 people. Optus Stadium is just so super unique. There's no little stadium, actual big tower lights. The lights are from around the little roof itself. It has a really different vibe. The light shows at the Optus Stadium are very, very insane too. At the moment, they're only fitting it towards Fremantle. West Coast, they're not getting their light shows due to them being, unfortunately, a bad club in the past couple of years now. But yeah, Optus Stadium, it's a crowd that can easily be sold out. I remember the first game I went to this year, West Coast versus Richmond. It was about 40 something K, which is very, very insane. And also, Optus Stadium, even with it to be a small crowd, it sounds super, super loud. Like at West Coast versus Gold Coast, it was 38K at Optus Stadium, and it was super, super loud if you rewatch the vlog. Now, in first, we cannot put this anywhere else. It's the MCG, a capacity of 100,024 people. We've seen lots of sold-out crowds at the MCG, especially at grand finals. There's also been lots of close games at the MCG as well. Collingwood versus Carlton, the Anzac Day games. They've all been super, super close, and we've also seen lots of draws there as well. MCG just has a huge history, and to be honest, we can't really do anything about how great and amazing that huge stadium is, and it cannot go anywhere else on this list. It was already reserved for first at the start of the video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.